And State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, Johnson. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
All right, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He has been interception prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
After the interception, here's Rosen. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Watching now, Barney.
They go play action. It's Rosen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Watch the slant.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And that's incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Atlanta now coming out on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! All right, here we go. 3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Set. Green.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
He'll get 3 up to midfield.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Gun! Watch it now, Barney!
From midfield now, here's Rosen. steps away to his left. Over the middle, complete. That's Sherman. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Over.
On first down, it's Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
On second down, here's Rosen. And he whips that one incomplete there. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it's 3rd and short. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Rosen to throw on 3rd down. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they...
Everything looked good.